So yesterday was the second time that we ran this car. This is an 88 Ford Escort. It was a hatch, a four-door hatchback. It was in Beeton. Beeton is not a very aggressive show, but you couldn't tell that from this car. I actually had the officials ask me why I had truck bumpers on this car. I said these are factory bumpers. They're just tin, aluminum, well, steel tin. And you wouldn't know that Beeton is not a very aggressive show from this car. It is done. The whole back end is right up. I couldn't even get this thing off the trailer because it was dragging belly so hard. So we actually had to get a jack and put underneath the car to help jack it up to get it off the trailer. Still runs, still tries to drive, but the little 1.9 underneath the hood can't really move this car. Cassandra drove this, which she has a funny way of killing cars, that's for sure. But the floor did bend completely and come right up in. What I find weird is how the rear doors actually disintegrated. Half the door stayed there and the skin came to there. So that tells me that if the rear doors didn't give way like they did on both sides, this one here just kind of compacted in quite a bit. Oh, would you look at that? The actual cage is right up against the rear quarter panels. It actually punched a hole through the wheel well in the back there. That's what the cage did. But if the rear doors didn't give way, I think this car would have done much better. She was in a ring with a 98 Accord and a 95 Camry, and they did not really hold back on her. The back end looks like she hit a brick wall. I'm very impressed. I like it when cars go to the scrapyard and people are like, what happened to that? As far as I can tell, this car still runs and drives great. The only thing that's really wrong with it is that the back end has came in. Motor did get an oil leak before it went into the ring. We put a liter into it and she still leaked oil. So I imagine she's low, but she still has oil. Tie rods are still good, struts are still good. All that fun stuff, but this car can't be run again because of how bad the back end is. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take our stuff out of it, put it on the trailer, and say goodbye. But you know what? That is an 88 Ford Escort, derbied. Front end actually held up half decent. It did start to bend though. So people on the internet were telling me that this thing's a Camry killer. I do not agree with that. The problem is it's not that this car is not tough enough to take on Toyota Camrys. It's not. But the problem is this car is very light and it lacks power. So when you hit another car, like a 4-cylinder Toyota Camry or a 6-cylinder Toyota Camry, this car does not have the force to push them. The car just can't do it. So what you're stuck doing is you're being pushed around the ring repetitively, and it gets too hard on the car. Like every hit that you do, the car bends and the other cars don't. But you know what? It was a good car, it was a fun car, and now it's off to the yard. So take care.